plus 10.
What's X9 plus 7?
Okay, guys, let's get started here. Stop messing around. What is the name? What is the name of the party, man? I keep asking you guys. Cody says it's the Order of the Flaming Sword. Are we all happy with that?
Order of the Flaming Sword.
Did you see Coco?
Well, wait, let's see if I can come up with an idea.
Order of the Flaming Sword.
The axis of hell.
Okay. Axis of Hell.
Phase Rider.
Phase Rider.
It kind of sounds like Phase Rider.
Phase Rider, though.
Yes.
Josh, do you have a name for a party name?
Party name, but let's be like.
You're going with Order of the Flaming Sword. Henry, would you like to name the party? We need a party for your adventurers.
Wait, what's the math problem?
We're getting there, man. You got a preview of it in the car on the drive over.
I just
No touching me, Asima.
Mine
Who is this tiny little guy? You're killing
What is
Sam.
Chest of Gold.
Sam does 10,000 worth of damage. Coco, you're dead.
Coco, do you want to name the party?
super short, dude.
I want to be named Flame.
Flame? Okay, so the current winner is Order of the Flaming Sword, unless someone wants to change their vote from Axis of Hell, Phase Rider, Chest of Gold, or Flame.
Coco, which one do you want?
She wanted Flame.
No, wait, she wants that to be her character's name.
I thought her character's name was Swordy.
Well, she wants to.
No, this is party name.
Party name.
But Coco just.
All right.
Party name.
Party name to be Flame?
Yeah, party name.
Party name.
How about flaming up? Have an order of.
Yeah, I'm fine with Order of the Flaming
Your order, flying with Order of the Flaming Sword?
Change it a little to the Order of the Flaming Blade.
Cody, he's recommending we change it to the Order of the Flaming Blade,
Order of the Flaming Sword.
not Blade. Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Everyone agrees? Order of the Flaming Sword.
Order of the Flaming Blade.
Yeah, I guess.
Sword sounds better in my opinion. Blade. Sword. Because blade includes axe. Sword. Yeah, say sword though, because what sounds cooler? Blade or sword? Blade.
Blade.
Sword.
Jinx.
This is 90% my idea. I can't believe the Order of the Flaming Sword.
Okay, so now remember, you guys just left Camp Righteous. It had been pretty much destroyed. Everyone was gone. There was a dead body in a latrine. There was a giant snake. There was an ancient temple that you guys explored. And then you were set upon by goblins, which you fought for 2 hours, finally defeating them. You headed back down to your caravan, got in canoes, and continued upriver to Camp Righteous. Now, while you're en route to Camp Righteous, which is a long 2-day canoe ride through thick jungle forests, hot, humid temperature, everyone please make a Constitution save to see if you get a random disease from page 20 of the Tomb of Annihilation.
Aaron leaves.
Yeah, you can have this back now.
Thank you.
Alright, what am I doing again?
Constitution save to see if you get a disease.
Can I tell a story about how Aaron leaves?
We would like to hear that story.
16, 19.
Okay, that's a save. Successful.
I got 15.
Come on.
I got 15.
10. Oh, that's not good, Coco.
I got 15.
What happened? What is happening to me? What would happen if I got a 10? I know what he got me.
1, 2, 3. Cody, you have to roll a d3.
I got 15.
You saved. You saved.
We are saying.
Roll a d3.
You can capture that.
Oh, yeah.
Careful of the... Hey, Cody, can you get the mat and put it over the cord, please?
Yeah, what's gonna happen to me if I got 10?
Thank you, Ryan.
D6.
I can tell you missed us. D3.
2.
You got a 2. You feel very, very cold, even though it's super hot out.
Did you get mine?
All right?
Stab you. You are dead.
You're feeling very cold. Coco, roll a d3.
D-I-Y. You're dead.
Coco, roll a d3.
Oh, died.
How are you, man?
Roll.
Let us know if you need help getting back in there.
Roll this.
You might just want to yell out what you want.
She got a 2.
A 2? You also, Coco, you're in the jungle, right? You're rowing this boat up the river, and it's super hot and humid, and there's bugs, and it smells like jungle decay. Sometimes you see like giant dead reptiles in the river. Sometimes you hear things in the forest. Very creepy. But instead of being hot, you're feeling very cold.
Is there any adverse effects?
Not yet. You have stage 1 of shivering sickness. Coco, now remember, you also have another disease. What's your other disease?
Death curse.
She's got the death curse, which means every week she loses a hit point until you guys are able to cure her.
No, her hit
Her
point
max total.
maximum.
Maximum hit points comes down 1.
So isn't it every day?
No, every week. Because it's a long adventure. I mean, you're out in the jungle for a long time. Now, here is the math problem. So, while you're rowing your boats, the captain of the ship says, which would you rather have? A D4 plus 4 or a D8?
D4 plus 4.
Why?
What's a D4 plus 4?
You roll a D4 and add 4 to it.
How many what's a D4? How many D4? Where's a D4?
So a D4
It's the
plus...
triangular one.
Okay, what can I say why I was gonna do it?
Yes, why would you take a D4 plus 4 over a D8?
Because the D4 plus 4 means that I'll have a minimum of 5. They both have the same maximum, but the minimum of the D4 plus 4 is way better.
Okay.
Exactly.
You all agree?
Exactly.
So now, without saying it to any of your friends, you have to write it on a piece of paper. Would you rather have, are you ready? A D6 plus 2 or a D12 plus 1?
Wait, a D6 plus 2.
Don't say it out loud, just write it on your piece of paper,
Can I borrow
please.
your pencil?
But I don't know.
So when can I
D12, right?
Aaron leaves.
D12.
It's a D12 plus 1
Tiny piece of paper.
or
Oh,
a D6 plus, what did I say, D6 plus 4?
Yes. No. D6 plus 2 or D12 plus 4. It's plus 4.
It's got to be a D6 plus 4.
Okay.
A D6 plus 4 or a D12 plus 1. Those are the choices. I'm sorry, I got it wrong.
So do we
So
just
when
write
can
our
I tell the
answer
story about how
Nope,
Aaron
just
leaves?
pass in your answers.
Cody here, so I'm just gonna go with Cody, because he's smile. I'm only in kindergarten here.
So I might have wrote the 4 over talking.
No, that's okay. Neatness doesn't count in my world.
Okay.
Look, we read our names.
Vader, so.
We read our names.
No. Secret ballot.
When can I tell the story about how Aaron leaves?
Okay, while you're rowing the boat would be a great time to tell the story of how Aaron leaves. Go ahead.
So Aaron leaves at Camp Righteous to
Uh-huh.
go back to his companions to continue his metalworking and weapon making combined with armor. So after he leaves, you hear a quiet cawing, and when you look upwards, you see the outline of an eagle. But when the bird comes closer, it turns out to be an Aracora.
So now you're an Arakoa?
Yes.
You're a birdman.
Yes.
And what's your name?
Heelk.
Heelk?
It's hard to pronounce.
Yeah. Heelk.
Heelk.
What level is Heelk?
1.
You weren't 5th level yet, right?
No.
So you could have made Heelk whatever level your other character was.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
If you'd like to level him up while we're getting ready. So I think your other guy was 3rd level, right? So you can be a 3rd level. Are you still a wizard or are you something else?
Sorcerer.
You're a sorcerer now.
I quit on common, the more common classes.
Nice. How's it going, Aiden? You ready to play some Dungeons and Dragons?
I'm ready.
How's Gronk doing? Is his
Okay,
mini
guys.
down? Holy cow, who's that?
This is me.
That's your mini now?
Draconic
That might be bigger than
ancestry.
Gronk.
Draconic ancestry.
Oh, so you love him.
Huh?
I hate when that happens. It happens to me all the time.
Okay, so when his character gets his draconic wings and if he makes the feet, he can take 75. My speed increases to 75. Yeah.
75?
And then if he takes this
Fly speed, or that's his run speed?
fly,
Holy cow!
and then he can make that even better with eagle wings, increases by 120 feet.
These guys are the best damn dancers of all time.
Oh, they're turning around.
They didn't call it Soul Train because it was
Anybody
bad.
wish free chips?
Yes, please.
Oh, that's right, Cody. There was a guy at the other table. He said he had barbecue Pringles and he was going to give you a handful.
Ryan's like, watch the door!
Also, the Cody's instant rare magical item.
No, Cody was wrong. He was hallucinating because of the jungle fever. No magic items.
Oh dang!
We gave a magic item to the guy that plays Quicksilver.
So then, so let's see.
So how was you were in Seattle?
Portland.
Perfect.
It was awesome. The snow was good.
Wow, snow.
Yeah,
I've never been in
for
snowy
like
Portland.
3 days, yeah.
Was
Wow.
it like staying on the ground snow or just kind of enough?
Enough, yeah.
Oh, cool.
We got in and it was
Is
snowing.
it
There were
really
like 3 inches on the
8:20
ground.
p.m.?
No.
Next day they salted everything, so
Oh, you gonna fly up or do I go?
I'll fly.
And you were riding around in Ubers, or you had a car? What were you doing?
No, just took the metro and then walked.
Nice.
So here I am, getting in Tuesday night in my shorts.
Snow.
There's snow everywhere. We got 6 blocks to walk.
What?
Here, here, here.
No, dude, that's not.
There's Zoom. There's Unzoom.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see his mini? Is his mini bigger than your mini?
Come on, let's share.
Where's the is the Dragonborn out there, Cody?
It's like
Who's bigger, Gronk or the Dragonborn?
He gave you the whole thing?
Oh my gosh.
There's only
I'm
a
good.
little bit left.
Okay,
The wings
so Aiden,
a very
you're
large
in the front canoe because you are aggressively and competitively canoeing against the Dragonborn. You want to be faster and stronger than him,
Mr.
okay?
Air
What's
Force not in a
what's a
canoe.
dragon board?
Tell him. Josh, what's your character like?
Imagine a 7'2" and towering man who's
That
like
looks
a
like a-
dragon. Without wings. Mr. Aircore is not in a canoe.
You're not in the canoe, you're flying over the party?
Yes.
Nice.
All around him.
So
Okay, so
what
sit
do
down, man. Let's just start playing.
You're doing not my intimidation.
You good? So as you come around the corner, paddling up the river.
Can I back the chair just a little bit? I'm gonna back the
Too
chair
close,
just a little
Aiden?
What's that supposed to be?
Boop. How's that? Is that better?
Better.
Okay. Through the foliage, do you know what foliage is?
What's foliage?
Foliage is plants. So through the plants, you see a crude timber fortification. Do you know what a fortification is?
Yep.
Okay. A walled compound with watchtowers and tents inside it, encircled by a ditch bristling with sharpened stakes. A large gatehouse faces the river, on the shore of which are 4 rowboats tied to a wooden post. Scattered around the fort are piles of charred human corpses and flayed animal carcasses swarming with flies. Okay, so you guys remember when you were at Camp Righteous, right? And it was kind of just tents. This camp looks way more fortified. It is a large wooden fort. There are trees encircling the entire fortress and a large trench dug around it with wood in the trench, right? Sharpened sticks.
Yeah, I know this.
On the river, there's a small beach where there are 4 canoes tied, and then there's the gatehouse to the fort right on the river, right? From where you are, perception check, everybody. Yes.
Mr. Aircore. That you said it was a nightmare.
Is it a nightmare?
Yes,
Because there's
it's a nightmare.
corpses and flayed animals. And some of the animals look like lizards, like snakes. Some of them look like, I don't know, giant
15.
dogs. 15 is good enough. From where you're standing, you can see that there are 2 guards at the top of the gatehouse. They look like they're armed with crossbows.
8.
Anyone?
Cody, 8 is not good enough. You are just amazed that such a large fort could actually exist in such rugged, incredible jungle terrain. 16. You also see the 2 guards, as well as there are other forts kind of at the corners of the guard towers overlooking the wall. You see that there are other guards standing on platforms at the top of those.
But I
14.
can't give us professions. Wait, what?
I got a
I can't
14.
pronounce it.
14. Okay, so you're flying over, right?
Yes.
So you're able to see the entire camp. It looks like this.
Oh wait, what?
He'll the blade sword and memorizes the map.
Okay,
Because he's a wanted.
as you're flying over though, you hear one of the guards shout out a warning and aim a crossbow at you. Like he's telling you not to fly over the camp.
I got a cut
You don't have to. What?
Well,
Great job, Coco.
Okay then,
I need perspective.
Are you
He'll
going to
gets
continue
out of
flying
there.
over or are you going to fly back?
He'll gets out of there.
Okay, we got it, we're good.
Perception is -0, is that right?
-0. Okay, so now I.
Nice character portfolio, Cody.
No, it's -0.
20.
20.
Nice. Okay, so you see
This new dice are good.
the trench that's dug at the base around the thing. It is full of water, so you can't tell how deep the trench is. It looks like it goes down about 6 feet until just thick mud, maybe even standing water surrounding the entire trench,
I
right?
have an idea.
Also in the trench, you see lots more corpses
Where's the
and
trench?
human excrement and filth. You recognize that it smells truly terrible. Yes.
I have an idea.
Yes.
Maybe we could somehow build a bridge.
You don't need a bridge. There's a beach. There's 4 other canoes tied up on the beach. You could row your canoes up on the beach and head to the guard tower.
Yeah,
I think
maybe
I'll
that would be a
steal a
good
boat.
idea.
I want to steal a boat.
So you're gonna row your canoe.
He didn't even get some.
I didn't even
He
get
just wants a
one.
little.
I only got one.
He just wants a little.
Sorry, don't take all of it. Yeah, he took my.
Can I have some?
Yeah, well, you already had it. But okay.
I can settle this.
All right. So where are we? So you've flown back around and
Coco got a
landed on the
13.
beach.
Coco
They're
rolled a 13
pulling
on
up the
that.
canoes. Right. So you see this giant fort made out of wood, right? It's surrounded by a large moat full of mud. There are dead animals and what appear to be humanoids littering the ground. There are mountains and swarms of flies everywhere. And there are guards inside the tower. There are the canoes. The guards have shouted at you not to fly over the camp.
It's all made of wood.
The fort is made of wood.
Yeah. Why can't we just
Burn it.
Well, it looks like the captain of the guard who was rowing you guys up here, it looks like he's parking his canoes and beginning to unload the things that they've been paddling up, like they were bringing supplies to Camp Righteous.
What I want to do.
And he approaches the gatehouse and he shouts out, "We have returned with supplies and medicine for the sick men!" And a shout goes out from the guardhouse, and they say, "One moment, and we'll find Ord to have the gate open." And you hear shuffling around, and you see guards moving at the top of the gatehouse.
I yell up at them. Can I fly over now?
No, you may not. Until you've spoken to Niles Breakbone, the commander of this fort, you may not fly over.
wait? Who's he? But you can fly.
I will climb this. I will climb.
You're gonna get.
You're gonna climb what? No, Cody, you want to help unload cargo to
Yeah.
take into the fort?
I'm actually gonna climb the wall.
You're gonna sneak up on the wall and try to climb up the wall.
first I'm
They're
gonna
letting
do
us in, you know,
I'm
Cody?
gonna do a stealth check to try to not get seen.
All right, so you sneak up on the wall.
I got a 18 on stealth.
Okay, so there's a lot of good cover in other areas where you can sneak, Cody, so you're able to sneak around off to the side, through the jungle, and then up to the large moat. Or not even a moat, it more looks like a trap, like a water trap, to keep like large dinosaurs from being able to charge into the fort. And you're slowly making your way across this thick, goopy mud lake to the wall of the fort. It doesn't look like anyone notices you as you get to the wall. So you're off to the left of the fort.
Then I'll attempt to scale it.
Okay, when it's your turn. Coco, did you have an option?
I have an option. I was gonna yell up at them, "Hey, can I do something to help you if you're sick, man?" And
Are you a
then-
cleric? We have been in need of healing for weeks.
And then I just go. She's a fighter. And then they let me in. I was like, "Hey."
Yeah, it looks like Captain Ord has arrived at the gatehouse and given the order to open the gate. So the two gates begin to part, and they are giant walled wooden gates. They slowly separate as you see into the camp. Now the camp is set up much like the other camp that you guys saw. There are two large central tents with more tents that are probably for the crew. but the conditions in the camp are atrocious. There is standing water in the camp, mud. It looks as if the latrines have sunk into the mud and the contents of the latrines have flowed out into the camp. The tents look like they were not designed for jungles. These tents look like they're more tents for a forest kind of backpacking trip. So the tents are covered in black mold and just covered, like some of the tents have mushrooms growing off of them. They are rotting tents. The troops that come down to help you unload the cargo and carry things in look very pale and sickly. Some of them have open sores on their body. They smell terrible, like their bad breath is repulsive from 10 feet away. Like they haven't bathed even though they're right out of the river, right near the river. And they're hurrying to get you into the fortress. Henry, did you want to take an action?
I think I'm gonna steal about like.
So you start untying one of the canoes.
I like tie
Okay.
it to the back of one of our other canoes.
As you begin untying one of the canoes, Commander Ord, who was the man that you saw earlier giving the order, just kind of miraculously appears standing right next to you. Kind of just a poof, and he's like, excuse us, those are property of Camp Vengeance, and we need you to leave them there. They are to be used only in the event of an emergency evacuation because the fortress has been overrun by undead or dinosaurs.
Wait.
And he looks very serious.
So like, so you mean it's been overrun with zombies?
Zombies are the least of our problem. And he looks very serious. Perhaps you could help us unload these other ships. Okay, if anyone can name who's singing, I'll give you inspiration. Anyone? Who's singing this song?
That girl, the white girl.
No, she's not a white girl.
The girl in the...
Donna Summer's not a white girl. you lose you have disadvantage on your next die roll. Go ahead.
That's really...
Ready, Coco?
I
Is it the one with the brown shirt?
want to tell them, hey, can I somehow try to help with your sick man?
Oh, absolutely. Right this way. And two acolytes. These are men dressed in robes, and they're wearing that religious medallion that you found earlier. Remember the sign of Tyr? They're wearing his holy symbol, and they escort you into the camp.
I thought it was. Wait, I didn't find anything about a
Is it torn? No, it's Tyr.
Will it be my turn soon?
Sure, it's your turn right now. What would you like to do?
I'm going to ask, hey, can I help you kill any monsters?
Oh, you're right. It is Helm. Helm.
Can I-
Helm. You guys are right.
So
You guys
this
said
is
torn.
what
It's Helm.
this is what I asked.
I'm ready.
Hey, can I kill any monsters for you, bro?
Oh, just stay for an afternoon. We will have monsters soon enough. But please, help us get this cargo into the camp. It's not safe out here.
Okay, sure.
And
Do I
you're
get
super
paid?
strong and you lift giant packages. You're getting paid. You're getting paid by the caravan to move stuff. So yes, you're getting paid. Cody, you're at the base of the wall. What would you like to do?
I will attempt another stealth check as I try to like sneak through to get to the party. I'm trying to like sneak like get there.
You're trying to climb over the wall, or you're trying to sneak back to the party?
I'm climbing over the wall.
Okay, acrobatics check.
Okay, acrobatics. I have a plus for acrobatics.
Acrobatics.
Eight.
Oh, athletics too, right? It could be athletics.
So
Do we have pizza? I don't know.
Can I do both? Like, can I have both modifiers?
No.
Okay, so I get 8.
You get an 8, Cody. You start climbing up these trees, and you notice that the trees have gorge marks in it, like giant animals have rammed them. And as you're climbing up, you start to get a good grip. You see that there's like a hand, but no body, just a hand sticking out of the wood. Like the fingernail claws have clawed into the wood, and like there's like this part of a hand and then a bone just kind of sticking out like to about here.
I know.
And as you see it, you're like, ah! And you let go and you fall, and so you don't make it up the wall.
I'll try to like blast it with some magic missiles, knowing that it's a walking claw.
It's not a walking claw. It looks like maybe a zombie or something was trying to climb the fortress, and its hand just fell off.
Wait,
Kill it.
The fortress.
Just in case.
I'm climbing
Both the hands.
But you would like to cast magic missile on the hand, Cody?
Yeah.
All right, mark off your spell slot. Go ahead, Henry.
So you mean, but was it like sticking out through this way or through this way?
It looks like the claw was just stuck on the wall like this.
Oh, I thought you meant it was like it was like on the walls here, and it was like this.
No.
Because I thought he was like climbing through the.
No, he looks like he's trying to climb up where Cody's trying to climb up, but his hand fell off for some reason.
I got this number.
Cody, and as you fall,
I got this number. 17.
as you fall to the ground, Cody, you hear a guard scurry around the top of the wall and look over down at you like he's looking for you. Give me another stealth check.
Okay, don't
If you
fail
fail,
me now.
you'll be a criminal.
20. Modified.
You actually roll over and into the mud, and you fall into the mud, and you go underwater, and you don't think he saw you.
Yeah, that's
Josh, what would you like to do? You're helping them unload. Okay, as you unload cargo and stuff into the camp, you come in. The troops that are helping you unload look very sick, but they look healthy compared to the other members that are inside the camp. There are, you would say, about 30 to 40 people in this camp. About 10 of them are acolytes or priests that are helping wounded and sick men move about the camp, get water, use the latrine, that kind of stuff. The rest of the troops... Very distracting, man. It's the best we've ever had. She was on earlier, man. Is this looping?
It's an hour and a half of dance from Sultry.
Hey, don't get distracted. Get distracted on D&D.
So, Josh, what would you like to do?
Get distracted on D&D. Imagine the TV is not there.
What would you like to do?
The TV is not there. The TV is not there.
I would like to go inside. And
Okay,
try to heal
you go inside the
anybody
fortress,
that
and as you're walking in, suddenly walking right next to you, appearing as if from nowhere, there's a soldier wearing a much more well-preserved uniform than a lot of these men. His clothing looks like he's tried to keep up. It still looks rather threadbare, and it's moist, and it doesn't look good, but he's tried. And he says, "We are glad that you guys have made it with these supplies. It should give us another week. But be careful when meeting with Niles Breakbone. The commander has had better days."
excuse
And
me,
then
I
suddenly
got-
he disappears.
Excuse me.
Oh, this is so creepy.
Yes,
Excuse me, I got this number.
great job, Coco. Good roll. What would the Arakoa like to do? As you come inside the camp, you see the conditions of these humans, and you're used to them living in such horrible squalor. But the smell is what really offends you. The camp smells terrible, of death and rot and human decay.
I have an idea.
Puke says, "Can someone throw me a medicine box?"
Okay, so you go with Coco back to the sick tents. There are about 12 soldiers that are in beds with various stages of dysentery and other terrible sicknesses. Some of them have horrible wounds, like they've been cut by dinosaur teeth or clawed by zombies or something. These soldiers laying in bed are being administered health by a few clerics. These clerics, though, look so sickly that they're not even able to cast their healing magic anymore. It looks like they've been treating these sick people or sick people like them for weeks.
I have
Can I heal
Can Puke grab a medicine kit and
I have an
start
idea.
helping?
Give me a heal check.
Medicine?
I have an idea.
Use some
Medicine check?
medicine?
Yes.
I have a
Thank goodness
question.
Okay,
this
so you're
dude's
coming up.
proficient with medicine.
Can I also do
An hour and a
medicine?
half of Soul Train dancing.
Can I also do a medicine check?
Sure.
3. 5.
So you go to help one of the soldiers.
Yeah.
And you go to
15.
bandage his leg, and the leg has suffered tremendous gangrene. There was a wound that's become repulsively infected. There's actually, it's truly wretched, and you get queasy, and you're unable to help him because you've never seen conditions this terrible.
15.
So the paladin steps forward, though, and he's seen battle scenes like this before, and you're able to apply some bandages and other healing salves to one of the soldiers that helps him
light
quite a bit.
radiant energy is being shot from his
No, I
hands
don't think he
on
did
him.
cure light wounds. I think he just did a heal check or a wisdom medicine check. What would you like to do?
I would like to try and find some kind of spray and spray it all over the fort to make it smell nicer. Can I do that?
So as you're like, you know what, we got to get something to get rid of this stench. And Andy and Pablo, the turtles, right? Andy and Pablo pull out what appears to be a large, woven, banded piece of, wood and twigs and other things. And they're like, light this smudge stick and it will bring a beautiful aroma.
Okay.
And they present you with a smudge stick.
Okay.
What
Okay.
does it look like?
It looks like, you know, like a pine cone, but it's wrapped with string and it has a whole bunch of other twigs and other branches kind of wrapped together.
I used my cave and I did it all like that.
It's about this long and about this big around, kind of tapered. There are no fires currently burning in the camp. It's the middle of the day.
Maybe I can rub two.
21 hits.
Absolutely.
I rub two.
Cody, you emerge from the moat, covered in mud and filth, looking around to see if the guards seen you. It looks like the guards moved on and did not see you.
21. Take 21 points down.
Cody, what would you like to do, Cody? You're in the moat.
I will attempt to climb up again.
Okay, so you sneak out of the moat carefully, and you approach the wall. You start climbing the wall.
This time I got 18.
You're able to get to the top of the wall. As you get to the top of the wall, you look down into the camp. Again, squalid conditions, standing water. There's a guardhouse immediately to your left, right? You came up just past the guardhouse on the south side of the fort. And then further down, there's a watchtower where it appears to be a soldier with a crossbow on top of it. From where you are, you could easily flip over the wall and go down. It's much shorter. It's only about 10 feet down, about 20 feet up. So the camp has kind of been elevated somehow.
Put your character back.
Not your turn yet, Coco. Hold on just a second.
So I will attempt. So I'm gonna just jump down into the camp.
Okay, you jump down in the camp.
So I'm in like
You land in a mud puddle.
I'm like my silk suit
Covered in mud and water and gore.
not my silk suit.
All right, Coco, your turn. So you're in the sick tent with these guys. There's many injured soldiers. Some of them seem to have dysentery and other sicknesses like the flu. Others appear to have wounds like they've been battled by dinosaurs.
So I looked in my tiny pocket right here.
Okay.
And for some reason, I don't know why, but there was a lot of medicine in there. I was like, wait, how did that get in there? So I just gave each of them their medicine they needed.
Right, so some of the supplies that you brought from the boats are medicine. So there's salves and there's bandages and there's like water purification tablets and that kind of stuff. Would you like to do a medicine heal check?
I want to do a medicine heal check.
All right, roll your d20.
Is this the d20?
Yes.
What's this shield?
Uh-oh.
Oh no! Before I actually got this, I actually got this number.
Yeah, that would have been way better. But this time you got the 1. So Coco, you kneel down to help this soldier, right? It looks like he's been in a bad battle. And you begin to apply a bandage to his shoulder that looks bruised and hurt. And suddenly as you're ministering to him, he starts screaming out in pain. And it looks like something's gone horribly wrong. He's sick. He starts getting really sick and violent. He looks like he's going crazy. One of the other orderlies walks up and says, let me handle this, and begins to administer healing arts to him. But you're unable to bring him any peace. And the man looks like he might die any moment.
What did Coco do?
She attempted a heal check, but she rolled a 1. You don't want to roll 1.
So
What would you like to do, Henry? So several people have run back to the tents with healing supplies and have begun trying to treat these soldiers. We've had medium success. Several others, like the Arakoa, are speaking with one of the commanders of the tent city fort vengeance named Ord.
Who's that?
Ord is one of the commanders, one of the captains of the fort.
Well, is this fort like a...
hey, no killing me, asshole.
You think it's a good fort. You think, well, you ask Captain Ord. You're like, Captain Ord, is this a good fort or an evil fort? And he says, I assume you've seen the remains of Camp Vengeance, or Camp Righteous.
Yeah.
Camp Righteous is where we initially started our outpost for the Order of the Gauntlet. It was overrun by undead, so we fled, heading further into the jungle. We were able to find a place here where we could build a very strong fort. Unfortunately, supplies are not coming through, so we're unable to fortify the fort. The disease and pestilence has moved in, so people are getting sick and dying. The captain, or the commander of the fort, seems to have gone crazy.
What do you mean?
And undead zombies storm the fort every night, so no one's getting any rest.
So more of that subject that is crazy. How do you get crazy?
It appears the jungle may have touched his mind, and he's become obsessed.
With the jungle?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so you like really want to go outside?
No, he's locked up in his commander tent. He hasn't come out in days.
Oh, what's he doing?
No one knows. We're afraid to ask.
I'm gonna go walk up, knock on the...
All right. So you're walking over to the commander's tent. Josh, you're in the healing tent with all the sick people. What would you like to do?
The guy who... Well, I'd like to cast... Lay on
Who would
hands to
be
the guy
my
that's really-
turn?
We're kind of just going around. Is that okay?
Yeah, but which way?
We're going this way.
I'd like
This
to cast
way?
lay on hands on the guy
Like
that...
the guy who's like shrieking in that jump.
Like
The one that
this
Coco
way?
was working on?
Here,
Okay.
This
How many
way?
points do you heal him?
Is it
What
this?
make your roll? Or no, you're doing lay on hands, right? So you get to choose how many hit points you give him.
Is it this?
You also know that you can use 5 hit points to cure diseases, and this man looks very sick.
I know, I am.
Okay.
It went me, him. It went you, me, him.
I have a question.
I'm gonna try to
Let's get
clear
it
his
back to me.
Okay, so you clear the disease for 5 points. You call upon your god, you lay your hand upon his chest, and you see the disease dissipate as peace comes into the man's eyes, and it appears that his cheeks even start taking on a healthier hue.
I have a question.
Would you like to do anything else, Josh? Hold on just a second, okay? Thanks, buddy.
No.
Okay, you're up. He heard that the captain has gotten some kind of jungle fever or gone crazy, and he's rushing off to the captain's military tent.
Would you like to see what's wrong?
Well, my airport just walks around trying to find anything of interest.
Okay, so you see that there's, you're a wizard, right? And so you see that there have been, you have seen that there have been magical armaments blasting into the forest recently, right? You see damage to the wall as like perhaps a huge beast slammed up against it. You see soldiers are continuing to carve logs into large spiked pythons to protect the fort from charging dinosaurs, Triceratops Rex, and stuff like that. The fort is, though sick and the soldiers' morale is very low, it looks like they're very serious about continuing to attempt to defend the fort. You also notice that most of the soldiers, not the acolytes and priests, are wearing Order of the Gauntlet medallions.
No. Do you have a shield?
You had heard that communication had stopped from the fort. They hadn't heard words from this fort in a long time, so you're surprised perhaps a little bit that things are going on, things are not good, but they're surviving. You thought they may have all been dead or something. Alright, Aiden, you're up.
I just one question. Is it going like this? Is it going clock? It's going
cares
this
so much
way?
about his silk suit.
So Aiden, why don't you
My
watch?
character
Can you
was
see how we're going by
flying
watching?
So you were like this?
Who went before you did?
Then I take everything but the
Him?
No.
Him?
Yes, and who went before him?
Him?
And who went before him? So which way are we going?
Just sit down.
This way.
There you go. So whose turn is it now?
Me.
What would you like to do, Aiden?
I would like to continue on my mission and make this place smell better.
Okay, so you light this smudge stick that the turtles have given you, right? And it smells like a Grateful Dead parking lot.
Grateful what?
Yeah, so it smells like patchouli oil and incense and sage all wrapped up in one.
Is that
It's not a good smell, but it is a smell that's different enough from the smell of human excrement, rot, and death that it is a good smell, you would say. And you begin walking through the camp, waving this stick, bringing smell. Let's do a quick maybe diplomacy check.
What's a
What
diploma?
diplomacy check?
There's no diplomacy anymore. You have
No, it's
persuasion. Let's do a persuasion check.
What is
Gronk,
persuasion?
and see if you can help the morale of the soldiers as you're making the camp smell nice. Maybe you can help them work a little bit harder and feel a little bit better about what they're doing.
11.
You get an 11. It's a good roll, and it appears that you're bringing a smile to several of the soldiers. So you're helping. Great job. You're pretty much the only one that's helping at this point, Gronk. Besides the healers.
Can I get a inspiration?
Yes, you can have inspiration, Gronk.
How do I roll?
You just make a check, and then when you use it, you tell me. You get to add a D4 to your roll. Cody, you're up. You're standing in a mud puddle on the other side of the wall. You see your friends running towards a military tent.
okay. I will teleport.
You see these guys in
I
a...
will use my ring of teleport and I go there.
Okay, so you teleport next to Henry's character. Henry, what's your character's name again?
No, I'm teleporting to the tent. Let's teleport to the tent.
Okay, so you teleport to the front of the tent. Henry, what's your character's name?
You don't know?
I do not.
Okay, Leo.
Leo? All right, Leo. So as you're approaching the tent, suddenly Cody's character, whose name is
Sap.
Sap, just appears right in front of you, and you're like, enough of this crazy teleport. I mean, this is like the second time it's happened to you today. You're getting sick of these people just bamping in. And he begins to open. Cody, you're not even knocking, right? You're just opening the tent? Okay, you start knocking on the tent.
I walk in with him.
Okay, so you're standing there, you're knocking at the tent. You guys are in the hell tent. You're kind of with him in the outside of the tent. Let's do a pizza break now. Is this a good time?
What am I doing, basically?
You're walking around with a burning stick, trying to make things smell better.
Oh, we're having pizza?
Let's